Today I'm trusting this humble rice cooker to help me make a full English breakfast. Spoiler alert, this might be an absolutely terrible idea. But hey, if this works, I might not ever need a frying pan, a toaster, or maybe even an air fryer ever again. Is this a good idea? This is a really silly idea that's been suggested, but let's give it a try. I have put some thought into this though. Look, this is my highly scientific layering system showing the entire rice cooker. So this is our rice cooker. We've got a layer of beans at the bottom, then mushrooms and tomatoes that are gonna sit in it, sausages and bacon wrapped in foil, an egg in a ramekin, a slice of bread, ooh, hash brown. So hash brown there, a slice of bread there. What could go wrong? Yep, so there we go. We're gonna go all out with our full-on layering system. If you haven't sussed that out, that is basically dumping every single thing in to the rice cooker, like complete chaos mode, and see if it will do the job. I mean, if this works, we are actually going to reinvent breakfast. If it doesn't, it's probably gonna be some sort of sad stew, but there's only one way to find out. Let's start first of all with our baked beans. I accidentally picked up ones with sausages in, except I want to do bigger sausages in there. Some mushrooms here, some tomato slices. Now I quite like to have pepper on my tomatoes. A bit of salt as well, why not? I've made like a little raft for our sausages to sit on. So I'm just gonna wedge it in there. Yeah, and I'm actually gonna do the same with some smoky bacon. Actually, that's massive. Oh, is that even gonna fit in? Oh no. I think what I'll do is I'll fold that. There we go, and just stick it in. We're gonna steam that. I mean, that makes it fit in, so that's a proper parcel. Boiled bacon. Anyway, the hash browns, kind of like a sacrificial sponge of potato, right? We'll just get that in there. Just fancy the one slice of toast, so bread. The rice cooker's sworn enemy, effectively. We've got to get it in there. I know that looks a little bit absurd, but out of everything, it is the bread that I'm most worried about. It might even disintegrate. I know this isn't necessarily a good idea when Boston keeps looking at me going, what are you doing, mate? The large egg is going into a lightly greased ramekin to potentially help me get it out easier. I don't know if this is going to work. I think it might actually overcook. All right, so I'm going to sit it on top of a mushroom and tomato. I might not have done my highly scientific layering system absolutely bang on the diagram, but that looks like a pretty cozy breakfast jacuzzi right there. I am so excited to see what's going to happen. All right, folks, using the actual rice cooker measurer, I am just going to add a little bit of water in there just to give it something to work with. If I just pour this lower down there, over the beans and the tomatoes, it will find its way. That is such a strange sight. Look at it. Oh, my word. Okay, hopefully the light will come on. Ooh. As we press cook, I have no idea what this rice cooker is going to think because it actually determines it. Like the weight change with the rice cooking, that's when it knows and it flicks back to the warm mode. All I know is that this thing does get quite hot indeed, and my priorities out of all of it are the eggs, sausage and bacon. Actually, it doesn't look too bad from this angle for you guys, but I'm trying to get a bit closer. There we go. And it is starting to become very difficult to know what the heck is going on in there. I can smell beans. There is steam coming out, so I'm glad I added the water in there. The difficulty is, obviously, take the lid off, we're gonna drop that temperature, and by having that lid on there, it's steaming it and acting as a super hot oven. I feel like I'm trying to convince myself as I'm saying that. But one thing's for sure, it's definitely... Oh, the bread just fell. Something is definitely happening there, but I can still see the egg. It looks like it's still raw, and that is gonna be our benchmark. Oh, crikey, folks, just literally 2 minutes later, and I can 100% see that that egg has gone white. There is a fantastic smell coming out there now of like sausage and bacon. It's like a little chimney that's blowing out breakfast scent. It's only been about 8 minutes in total, so I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes before taking the lid off and starting to make a decision. Because ultimately, really, if we can see the eggs done, it's probably all on the sausages now because the sausages are so much thicker than the bacon. And I can't even see the bacon. All right. If that was an indication of how warm it is. The beans are bubbling away, the tomatoes all softened. The hash browns kind of slid down. But the only thing I'm gonna go by is literally the temperature of one of those sausages. So I'm gonna just stick that in there. Oh wow, okay. Yep, around about 75°C was my safe spot, but that is nearly 100°C. We have literally just made a cooked breakfast that is still on warm mode. It's still bubbling away. I need to turn this power off Otherwise, that is, like I say, still cooking. No doubt it's warm. Let's look at it all individually and see what we've come up with. It's got a bit of bean juice around the side of it, but that's okay. That yolk is incredibly done. The yolk is almost white. Let's get out the bread. Can I get out the bread? Ugh. Okay. Even just with the tongs, that's got the consistency of a flannel. The bacon, the skin from the sausages has come off. Oh, wow. The tomatoes have like really mushed up. If I just try and lift up that hash brown. Oh, the tomato, the beans, the mushrooms, all combined together. Wow. Amazing. I'm so glad I added that water because some of the beans have actually started to catch. It smells so good. Like it's like a weird like smoked bacon bread scent. Like a bacon bakery. A bakery. Okay, so this is cooled down. We took it out first. Oh, that is... Oh, no! Come here, egg. Oh, get up on there. Look at the state of that. I love what the beans has done. It's just this like crazy medley of tomatoes and mushrooms all together, like mush. Right. Let's taste it. All right, let's go in first with the beans. Oh, it's warm. They're fine. Slight smoky flavour from the bacon. Right, mushrooms. I should actually survey you guys on mushrooms because whenever I use them, everyone's like, ugh, you ruined it with mushrooms. I love them. Where's the tomato? It is proper mushy, but I want that. And there's still a little bit of a lick of pepper on there. Overruling flavour though is, I think it's actually like the scent of the bacon as well because nothing escaped from that parcel. In fact, let's try the bacon. Oh, it slices very easily. It is absolutely tender. Don't get me wrong, the colour isn't perfect and Mrs. Barry would absolutely hate this. I'm really not that fussy with bacon. If someone says, do you want bacon? I'm like, yeah, I'll have it. It just tastes more like smoky pre-cooked ham slices you'd get in a supermarket. Let's try the hash brown. It's not frozen. It is extremely mushy. I think we described it as a sponge when we first put it in there. It does actually taste like a potato sponge. The sausages, not sure why I put 3 in there, but the temperature is good. Yes. Effectively, this rice cooker is being a steamer for us. If you've never steamed food before, it doesn't necessarily look the best, but it is that texture, that consistency, and you're not losing as many nutrients or any flavours whatsoever. It can't really escape. Like the bacon, these are just like peppered sausages, but I can really taste that. It's really good. Okay, the egg. That white is absolutely fine. Not too chewy. I was expecting it to be more like a bubble gum. And the yolk, I can't deny, it is extremely cooked through. But it's actually still edible. I think the moisture in there has actually helped it. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to eat like a big yellow clump of egg clay. But last but not least, I have to pick up this bread. The poor thing. It's damp. It is literally like a cloth. There is no toasting on it whatsoever. But as fine as fairly damp bread can be. So have we managed to make a full English in a rice cooker in one go? Yes, we sort of have, but we've missed out on certain things. We've overcooked the egg. We haven't toasted our toast. The bacon and the sausages are steamed, but can we cook them both? I'm going to be completely honest, the bread aside, I have probably eaten worse in a greasy spoon cafe in the UK, but I think we can improve it. This is going to be a little bit more methodical, doing bits at a time and reheating it into one big breakfast mass rice cooker plate at the end. Let's give this a go. Option number 2. Yes, route number 2, which I don't have a drawing for. It might be more methodical and slower, but we could potentially drive charring in and then steam it too, and ultimately also have it warm. This, yeah, will take longer, and I want to start with that toast. Right, let's try and do this in a fairly methodical way. As we know, without the lid on, this is actually a hot plate. Now, we need to get it on cook rather than warm to give it a decent chance. I'm not sure if you can hear that. It's been about 2 minutes. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna keep pushing that. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Let me turn this over. Look how perfect that is. That is absolutely outstanding. That's better toast than my toaster does. Right then, we're gonna use this same plate to serve it on. It's toast. Absolutely amazing. So next up, the sausages, a little bit of oil to help it. Yeah, just gonna slide them around, make sure they're evenly coated. The bacon will join it in a little bit. Yeah, hopefully you can hear that, but if not, ooh, Yeah, oh my gosh, look, we're starting to get the colour on it. That's browning really well. I'm trying to do this in a way that we sort of like slowly build up all the flavours in there as we add the different things. The only thing was the bread had to be done first. I wanted that dry. I think this is my version of a midlife crisis. My dad got really into like motorbikes and cycling and horse riding, and I just get excited by toast. Beautiful. Look at those sausages. Here's the bacon going in, which won't take as long. Oh, I did 2 rashers last time, even though we saw they stuck together. I'm going to keep the lid off now, just so I can keep my eye on these sausages. I don't want them to burn. How ridiculous that sounds. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Now the lid is off, it is spitting a little bit. It's a little angry. It's like, you're not rice. What are you doing in here? Folks, I've got to be honest with you. My plan for the rest of it was to line this tray that came with it, like a steamer tray, right, into some sort of foil plate and then dump it out. However, I'm going to stick it on there. I'm going to take these sausages out. Look at them. And then the bacon, which I'm actually really happy. That's got a lovely golden colour on there. That is looking way better. But we'll see it in a minute. Because chunky tomatoes, I was gonna oil these, but using some of the fat from the sausage and the bacon, brush it onto the tomato faces, because tomatoes have faces. Lovely stuff. Some pepper on our tomatoes. I love grilled tomatoes. Oh, there's a tiny sizzle there. I'm gonna lid on these just to try and sweat them out a little bit, but that face side, like we saw with the bread, it should char up and give it a grilled tomato effect. I know this is quite long-winded, but right now we are actually making this look pretty darn good. Like, look at this, literally about 30 seconds later. Oh, yes. This is one of these days where the kitchen is really my playground. Oh, yeah, that's hot, and it's softened it slightly. Oh, yes, can you see that charring? Ah, they are really hot. You can go in there with the sausage, the bacon, and also our ramekin of egg, which sounds a bit like a sci-fi movie. Pepper again. I'm not going to do black pudding, by the way. I've never been a fan of that. So let's push the beans in. That little splash of water. I'm going to add a teeny bit less than last time because obviously our cooking time should be less. Add in those mushrooms, stir it all around. And yes, we'll even put the bread in there as well to warm it up. Yep, there is method to my madness. The beans are cooking, I can smell it, and I can also see the moisture on the tomato, sausage and bacon. The egg still hasn't caught yet, and that's absolutely fine. I've got my toast over here looking quite lonely. Don't worry, mate, you will join the party. But only when I see that egg is nearly done. And also, rather than using a ramekin, I've got some like poached pods, some different gadgets and things, but I wanted to try and do it. Of course you're gonna wanna try and do this. If any of you guys wanted to replicate it, I wanted to just use stuff that you hopefully have. And this is a very budget rice cooker. All right, beautiful. It was just whistling a minute ago, and the egg is just covered in white. Even the yolk itself has got covered. Wow, you're warm. Will this bread fit in there? Oh, yes, it will. Yep, and 3 minutes later, although it's very tempting to cook, woohoo! The smell when you put the bread in, generally it's turned back into the baconery again. Smoked bacon bread becomes a dominant flavour. Is that some sort of science behind that? But it's all warmed. Let's plate it. Right then, lift our tray out. Yes. And if there was any doubt, look at those beans. Awesome. The colours on there that we wanted. Incredible. Ugh. Oh no, my yolk. But to be fair, that's a lovely medium egg. You've got a little bit of set plus the runny yolk there too. And of course, let's not forget, the thing that I was most worried about out of the whole lot, toast. I think from the chaos of our first version, we have actually redeemed ourselves. That smells absolutely incredible. I just feel like some of this is going to taste pretty much the same, particularly the beans. Yep, beans are fine. Mushrooms are nice and soft already. I've got the egg here, a little bit of runny yolk, a little bit of firmer yolk white. That's brilliant, and the egg white was nice and smooth. This bacon, where we've warmed it up again, it has actually made it slightly delicate. Whereas I feel like I can still smell the smokiness. I feel like by frying it like that, it's actually heightened the salty taste. The sausages, oh, that is amazing. You've got the browning on the outside, so you've got that added flavour from that, but now still, you've got that warminess running through, that almost tenderness that comes from the steam. Tomato, I'm really hoping the charring on here, it's a lot less mushy. The pepper etched into it as well. Yes, about as good as I'm going to get it compared to doing it on a grill. And of course the toast. Okay, that's toast. It's lost its crunch. I didn't want it cold, but even by putting it in there for that little amount of time, it's actually made it slightly terrible. Not terrible, but just terrible. It's just taken the edge off that toasty crunch. But look, a whole English breakfast. Our rice cooker here, as some of you have suggested in the past, I call Condoleezza, Declan, or even Annika, has done an absolutely stonking job. But we have achieved our mission today, eventually. I've done other rice cooker videos, maybe check them out. And if you've got a challenge for me using it, do let me know down below. I'd love to try and tackle it if I can. Remember, this was actually a suggestion. So thanks, guys. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Folks, I didn't do a hash brown, did I? So hang on, bonus scene. Ooh, look at that colour. That works. Ah. Yeah, that's crispy. To be fair, I normally like beans on toast. See you later.